Welcome to Camp Chaos, where we celebrate the wild ride of modern womanhood.
Join us as we dish on motherhood, life's ups and downs, and all things pop culture that we know you want to talk about.
With special guests and expert insights, we're here to empower you through the chaos of everyday life.
Consider this your ultimate escape from the hustle and bustle. And as always, parental guidance suggested.
Camp is now in session. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Pillow Talk with Camp Chaos. We are talking today about transitioning from 2 kids to 3 kids. If you are crazy enough to do this to your family, like this one is, she's going to give you some tips. I'm like,
welcome.
I am not the expert on this. I said when
Tip
I have a
number
third,
one is coffee.
Yeah, there you go. Coffee, wine, coffee, all the things. When I have a third, you could just take it until we get to the baby to sleeping through the night and then bring the baby back to me. But I think this is such a hot topic because 2 feels normal.
Yeah.
I know you grew up with 4, but like 2 is like the normal. There's table for 4, booking airplanes, booking a hotel room, what car you drive. Like these are our 2 kids. Like if you had 3 when I was growing up, it was like, oh, like, wow, that's odd. 4, you're crazy. I know that's your normal. But nowadays it's like more and more people I feel like are having like 3. 3 seems like the magic number. I want to hear from you about what the transition was like.
Do you think more and more people are having 3?
Yeah.
Like 2. I feel like I'm seeing more like 2 is good. Like,
really?
I feel like even like a lot
Everyone
of
we
moms
know
I
is having
follow
their third.
on Instagram and stuff are like the smart people are like done it too. Like manageable.
Yeah.
Done
Okay. So
and
this
good.
goes into another conversation. I mean, like I've talked to people when they're like, I don't think my marriage could survive a third. Financially, we want to put our kids in private school. We want to be able to travel. Like there's a lot that you have to weigh, or you just make an irresponsible decision and you're like, let's just see. And then it happens.
And then you're like, oh, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's
But I
talk
do think
about
that like when I was growing up, it was like everyone had 2. And now I'm like all of our friends, I feel like they're on 3.
Well, it's so funny because like for me growing up, everybody had 3 or 4. Like
You grew up-
nobody had 2.
You grew up just like 10 miles away from me, but apparently it was much different in Laguna Beach.
Like in, I don't know, in my Catholic school, everybody had multiple, like
Well, I feel
3,
like
4.
that goes to like,
Yes,
because they think of
bigger
there's no birth
conversation.
control.
Yeah.
Whatever God wants me to have is what I will have.
Well, God, please stop me here.
Laguna Beach goes to family planning. Okay.
Dying.
Let's talk.
Okay. So the transition into 3. So the biggest, and I asked so many people, what was your hardest transition? 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Most people, I would say 90% of people, 0 to 1. And that is by far what I say. So like this is not to scare anybody. I don't think 3 is the hardest. I think transferring to have your first kid is by far the hardest.
It's a culture shock.
It's a culture shock. With the third, it's all about logistical planning if you're a type A person. So like if you're a type A person, you have to adjust the schedule. That's the hardest part. So I have my first 2 on the same schedule. Now it's incorporating this one into the schedule. The hardest part about transitioning to 3 is that there's only 2 parents. And if you're like us, where you have your kids a little bit closer, like you don't have a mini nanny or a mini like helper in Miller. I mean, he helps me as much as he can, but I can't say like, could you go grab the baby?
No. God,
Whereas
no.
like, but we could when Austin, my youngest brother, was born, like I was 7.
Yeah.
So like I could go get the
You're a
baby
little
and
mini
bring,
mommy.
bring
Yeah, it
him
was different.
to my mom, or I could, Miller can go grab me a diaper, grab the passy. But the hardest part is having not enough hands, because
You have 3 under 3.
there is a part of the day, bedtime routine, that's the hardest because we have to leave abandoned. Like, I don't know how else to say it. I mean, that's the way our bedtime routine is going right now. And I don't know if we're doing it right, but like, okay, so the baby sleep. So we try to get the 2 big kids down by 8.
I don't want to hear about your bedtime routine. I need to talk about how you prepared the 2
I
kids.
was going to say how I'm abandoning my baby.
I know this is not your therapy. Like, get this off. Get this off
my
your
chest.
chest to make you feel better. This is not your confessional.
How I prepped my 2 kids to welcome baby number 3.
Let's go there.
So I think Miller was great with both kids, honestly.
Miller was so excited.
He was so excited. He told everybody, like, I'm having my new baby sister. And he told
He's
his
just
teachers.
a little angel, though. Miller,
he would kiss my belly.
Yeah.
Like, he was so ready for it.
He's so
Palmer,
sweet.
I tried to talk to her about it, and she would like point to my belly and just, sister, sister. But she had no idea
That
what
she
a
was about to
sister
be-
meant.
That it meant her becoming a middle child.
A middle child. And her really
I feel like
settling into the middle
the
child.
last month of your pregnancy, she was like giving middle child vibes.
Oh,
The way
my
she was
God.
acting, like
Everything.
the way she was just like, yeah.
Everything.
And she's really embraced that
well,
role.
and then when Dawson was born, she really embraced that role.
Yeah.
And like when we got to the hospital, Miller, it was like his second time in the hospital. He understands more. We had to tell him, we tell him God helped mommy with bringing Dawson into the world. That's why he put her in my belly, and the doctors helped mommy get Dawson out. Because he doesn't understand where I have to be at the doctor's. Palmer, you try to explain that to her. She doesn't understand anything at all. When she came into the hospital,
Wait, so
she
you told
hated it.
I'm sorry, back up. You told Miller where
Right,
babies
I didn't
come
tell
from?
him exactly where babies come from. I
You
had to
told
tell
him-
him God made Dawson and put her in mommy's belly the same way I said I
mean,
prayed for
you're not
you.
wrong.
Right.
Okay, that's that's a
Are you going to tell Zane and Zoe where your third baby comes from?
yeah, the frozen embryo bank. Your sister's on ice.
Your sister's on ice.
Along with your other 8 siblings. Yes.
No,
They're all
I
there.
didn't know, like,
No, that's a very good way of saying it.
because he's very like
A lot of
my
questions. The
my question
questions.
guy.
Yeah.
So
Needs to know
why
yeah.
mommy? Well, why mommy? And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, well, I prayed to God and God put Dawson in my belly, and then the doctors helped get Dawson out of my belly.
Yeah, perfect. Love that.
Very simple and
Write a book.
straightforward.
Write
yeah.
a book.
And then Palmer, tried to explain the same thing, didn't quite sink in the same
No.
way I had hoped. She really had a tough time. I think you just have to
She was 16 months too. Right?
18 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think when you are bringing a new baby in with someone around the age of Palmer. So Miller was 22 months when Palmer was born, but I just lucked out. Like, he was so good. Palmer was 18 months when Dawson was born. You try to avoid the no, don't do that to baby. Don't do that, because then it becomes like she's in trouble every time she's around the baby. But it's so hard because that's a really natural instinct, right? You're holding like your newborn and this like toddler is coming in with like nails and claws, and you're like,
To
"Yee."
whack the baby.
I mean,
pet the baby.
Even Drew is like, no, Palmer. And I'm like, don't do that. Like,
Yeah.
I try to say like, oh, you love sister so much. Let's touch Sissy's toes because like when we got home, it wasn't like, oh, yay, I'm so happy. Like, it was still a work in progress. So I tried to make it for her not so much of a like, don't touch her.
Yeah.
No, don't touch the bottle. No, don't touch this. No, you can't be in here. It's like, oh, come in. Now, every time we nurse, come in, let's watch Elsa. And we watch Elsa in Dawson's room. And then she plays peekaboo with me in the closet. Like, I try to make it so.
Make her a part of it.
Yeah. And so that it's not such a like she's getting in trouble every time she's touching her sister.
Yeah.
Now, Dusty. Like,
She
now
calls her Dossie.
yeah, sometimes. And she like tickles her, she smells her
Aw.
toes. And like, it was a gradual transition, but I think if you can just try to not make it so anti.
Forbidden. Don't touch
Yeah,
the baby.
then
Yeah.
they sense your energy. I tell Drew that all the time. I'm like, the kids feel our energy.
Yeah.
They feel when we're stressed. They feel when I'm like, get out of this room. If I'm like, come in, sit on the floor, bring some magnetiles
Well,
in.
and then like if you don't make it a big deal, like
It's not a
it's
big
always
deal.
when you like stress about it, they come in, they're like, what can I wreck?
Yes.
What can I
Exactly.
make into a tornado here?
Right.
Pull the diapers down.
which she
hang
still
from
does
the
sometimes. And then
curtains.
like old me would have been like, no, Palmer, don't do that. Now it's
You
like,
relaxed.
What? It takes me 30 seconds to put diapers away.
Yeah.
Like, if she pulls all of them out,
Yeah, relax.
she's in here with the
In the
door
long
closed.
run, it's better for her.
She's not
Yeah.
getting hurt. We're in here with baby sister. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really care.
I feel like you had a
anymore.
lot of preparation for this in your pregnancy. Of like things could be a lot worse.
Right. I did. And that's probably like why God was throwing all those things at me from
Just like,
January
we're
to
just gonna
March.
relax. Just, yeah.
So I think like having a relaxed attitude has been really helpful. And Miller, I don't really have to teach him as much. Like, don't do that. But it's the same thing. Like, if he asks to hold the baby, like, I'm giving the baby to him. Mind
Perfect.
you,
I'm gonna
like-
go shower. She needs to be burped.
Mind you, I'm not like plopping her on there, but I'm trying, like, if they are showing any sort of interest or engagement with the baby,
Yeah.
I am capitalizing on that. I am like, even in the beginning, I remember, I think it was like on day 3, Palmer was like, hold Dustin, hold sister.
Aw.
And I'm like, yes. Like, I put her in
Yeah,
there
that's
immediately because you want to show them like, no, you want to do this. This is a great thing. This
Yeah.
is exciting. So I think switching, but it's a hard thing to do because it's so natural for you to be protective over the newborn.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes if you're like not in the mood to, you know, play the barrier between the two, just put her in the carrier.
Well, and you know what? I won't even let Zoe, even Zane, hold like a basket of blueberries.
Right. No, of course.
So letting them hold your baby is a whole different story. Like
Right.
they just are little topsy-turvy little, yeah.
Well, and they don't know how to hold the baby. You're just
Yeah.
like, oh, pretend, you know,
Sit
but
with mommy.
of course you can hold baby sister. She would love that.
Okay, so now going into like your routine and how everything has been shifting coming home. Obviously, you are very type A. Like the rest of the moms are more like me, like more type B and less like so scheduled and regimented. I feel like everybody has to get on some sort of we don't call it a schedule, but like just a good system in place when you have three, because at the end of the day, 3 babies need to be fed. 3 babies, children, babies, whatever you want to call them, need to eat. Like they're eating, they're sleeping, they're bathing. Like there's all these things that have to happen. So you do have to get some sort of routine or system set down. So what is your biggest tip?
Well, I will say I do feel like people come for me for like being so routine and all of that because, you know, you're supposed to be in this.
When you say
blissful
people, I think
bubble.
you're just talking about me.
No,
mom.
not you. Oh, and my mom too. And like TikTok and,
Yeah,
you know, all those people. But I do believe like with the third, you need a system in place.
Yeah.
Like if you want to keep your head on straight, somewhat straight, you need a system in place. And that just means like for your big kids, knowing if there's when they're waking up, if and when they are taking a nap, and when they're going to bed. Like as long as you have those 3 things down, I feel like everything else is possible because if you know that your day is about to be flipped upside down at 8 a.m. versus, you know, 5:30 a.m. every day, it's really hard to like, it's hard with 2 kids. It's hard with 1 kid to live your day. But like when you are trying to balance 3 and you're like, where do I start? It's like, if you know every day at 7 a.m., here comes the chaos. Okay, great. So every day at 7 a.m., I can prepare for the chaos. I know the 2 bigs need to get up, breakfast. I know the little one is getting up, bottle fed or nursing, whatever it is. Just establishing some sort of like, oh, and then I know I get a little break or a little reprieve. Even if like Zane doesn't take a nap, it's like, hey buddy, every day at like noon, me, you, and the baby are going to go sit in the toy room. We're just going to have like lights off and a little bit more of quiet time. Like we're going to be contained in a space.
I'm already, well, you know, I think
but you have to, like, if not, how else are you going to do this?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, that's why I'm not pregnant right now, Taylor. But when I think about it, I'm like, when you're speaking of like, okay, even like the feeding, like I'm cooking for the kids and then I sit down and I am making sure they're eating. Like I don't plop them and then be like, you feed yourself. But for me, if I did this, like that would have to change. I would think that would be because feeding these kids takes anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. Like, and I'm picking up the food, putting it in their mouth. Like Zane, if he sits in front of food, like he'll eat a little bit, but he won't eat. And I don't know why I have this whole thing with like my child. I need to make sure he's like eating a good, healthy amount. I would need to absolutely start it where it's like, whatever you don't eat is going to be put away and like you're going to be hungry because they have to be able to feed themselves.
Yeah.
Like you have to figure out like, or dress yourself. Like Zane's getting better at like putting on his clothes. And like, this is an age thing too. Like you can't expect like a fresh 3-year-old to do that, but like getting closer to 4, like he picks out his clothes and he puts his underwear on and like he tries his best to get dressed. But like little things that in your system of like, what can you help me with?
Right. And I think there's been a lot of things like in our system that I was so adamant about with the 2 of like, all 4 of us have dinner together. Like whether we're going out or we're sitting at home, like we all 4 have dinner together. Now that's literally not possible. Like there are times where if Palmer's acting up or Palmer isn't feeling well, it's like, okay, you know what, Drew, I have to get out of this house. You stay home with Palmer. I'm going to take Miller and Dawson to go eat dinner. And like we've done that before. And then last night, for example, the day I had yesterday, I'm like, In-N-Out, and I'm going to eat first while you're with the kids. And then we're going to switch. You eat your In-N-Out burger. I'll be with the kids.
Delicious right now.
And then it's like, it was so good. I was like, I deserve this.
Oh my God.
And then with the kids, like Palmer literally ate when she woke up from her nap at 3:30, like her dinner. And then she snacked the rest of the night. And it's like, okay, Miller didn't want to eat until 6 o'clock. So that's why I'm like,
you do let a lot more things go, I would imagine.
Yes, but the things that I know for sure is that our day starts at 7:30, 8. The kids, normally I have a quiet hour from about 2 to 3. and
Bedtime.
we're all winding down by 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And if those things are predictable, everything else kind of can fall into place, or you can troubleshoot, or you can figure things out. But for me, I know not everybody can be like the crazy schedule person that I am, but if you can do that with 3 kids, I do think it's a lot easier to go about your day.
It brings some calm to the like inevitable chaos that you're going to have. But just knowing that like this is our wake up time, and also knowing that like you go out to dinner with friends, you go with your parents, like whatever, like things will flex, but just trying to stay to that.
And like then there's some predictability, because that's so hard.
And you also, I don't want to like give so much credit to Drew, but like you also have a very supportive and helpful spouse.
I do have a very supportive,
and that is not the case for a lot of women.
Okay,
me
yes.
included. Like mine is not like, I'm always like, Drew does this, Drew does that. Like, you have a very support. You've trained him though.
Well, I do, but also I'm always like, you have to do this because I take the night shift with Dawson. Like he has not had.
Yeah, but even before Dawson, Drew is very helpful.
Drew is very helpful.
Yes. You're like, these are your children too.
Well, yeah, and I do think like that's something that you discuss before the third baby comes, because it was like
this in the first, and no one told me that.
Well, because it's such a shock that I really think like it is almost, and like if you are a single mom who has 3 kids, I would get on my knees and bow down to you. I think for 3 kids, like you need 2 people. No one person can do this. Like it's a lot. I think about it like even, there's one day of the week where I really am solo with the 3 kids, but I do drop Miller at school. But like in the morning, getting 3 kids fed, dressed, out the door, dropped off, next location is like,
it's a magic trick.
Do I still have a pulse?
It's a magic trick.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So like for the people who are doing this all day, every day, I mean, I literally bow down to you, but I do think having 3 kids is a 2-person job. Doesn't mean like your husband needs to be involved all day, every day, but like at bedtime, you're going to need a second hand.
Bedtime's always the hardest. It just is.
Oh, well, I kind of like forgot about the witching hour, like how bad it is. Like newborns have a serious witching hour, and Dawson wakes up at 7 p.m., which is right around the time I'm getting my 2 big kids to bed. And then she's screaming, and Drew's like, she's screaming bloody murder. And I'm like, and what do you suggest I do? Yeah,
I think another, like, we have girlfriends that are like, okay, we're going to have our 3 kids and like be on the couch, and whoever falls asleep first, you're getting carried to bed, and like that works for them. So whatever works for you works. But the other thing that you've done with your kids is like you've over time, not like just like a flip of a switch, which we've talked about on the podcast, is helping them get themselves to sleep. Like you're not having to lay, like with Zane, I have to lay with him until he gets to bed. And that is like, that could be anywhere from like 15 minutes to 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And like, you don't know. So like Zoe's putting herself to sleep. But like, I think about this in my mind. Okay, my husband's traveling. I would need somebody else here.
Well, okay. So, but that's something that you think about now. Drew and I had this conversation before Dawson was born. His bedtime routine with Miller was 45 minutes. And I had to sit him down, and like he almost took a little bit of offense to it when I first sat him down. I'm like, I know, because Miller's a question king, because he wants to read books, and Drew and him, they're both so into facts and learning, and I love it. And Miller knows where everything is on the globe, and he knows what all these animals eat and all these things, because Drew will teach him while they're reading books. But I'm like, we are having a third. And I told him, I said, Miller's bedtime routine needs to go from 45 minutes to at least 30.
Yeah.
And at first it was like a hard conversation to have, which you wouldn't think like that's that hard. But he was
like, brushing teeth, you're reading books, but all of that, every minute counts.
We entertain, Drew entertain, where if like that's why Miller wants Drew to put him to bed, because when I put him to bed and he asks me questions, I go, oh, we'll answer that later. Next page. Like we are on a schedule. You are getting to bed. I got to tend to your sister. Like if I'm solo,
you're militant.
I am going from room to room to room. I don't have time. So I told Drew.
Have you put all 3 down by yourself?
Yes, for nap time.
Naptime's different than bedtime. Have you done bedtime yet?
Not all 3 by myself.
Okay, I don't wish it on you. So I'll come over and help you if you need.
Yeah.
But like that would just be, I can't imagine bedtime. I know moms everywhere are doing it every single day. It's just like, it's like anything, you get through it.
You get through it. I got the smallest glimpse with nap time, but it was still like literally all 3 are losing their minds at the same time, because everybody needs to go to bed. And then you just prioritize who goes to bed first. Okay, Palmer goes to bed first. Then I read books to Miller. This last time that I was putting him down for a nap, Dawson was absolutely losing her mind. And I finally got up, and I'm sitting there reading Miller a book and I said, buddy, you're going to have to turn the pages. Mommy will read it to you. And I had to nurse her.
Yeah.
Miller's like, why is she eating like that? Because I don't always nurse in front of him. And he's like, I'm like, oh, well, my body is
making
her babas. And he's like, there's milk in your body. And then we got in the whole other conversation. I'm like,
then all the other questions.
Oh, please, turn the page. I'm just like, Dawson was still in her swaddle. I'm just like, have
You're
her on the
surviving.
boob,
It's
surviving.
normal.
I'm
Yes.
trying to give him
Yes.
the milk. But it is something that you like would have to look at of like, okay, Zane, from now on, like mommy's going to set a timer in here because I have to go to, and that whenever I say that, like I have to go to Dawson. She's literally
you feel
screaming
terrible when you say that.
No, I think Miller understands more. Like I
yeah.
think he understands the not being selfish moment of like, okay,
Maybe
yeah,
at
I
that
hear her
age.
screaming.
Like, I get it.
I get it. Like
Yeah.
you're not just going to like watch Netflix.
Housewives. Yeah. Well, and then, it's like I watch podcasts and Mel Robbins is like giving advice, which like I bow down to her. I think she's amazing, but she's giving advice of like, if you feel overwhelmed as a mom in the morning, it's because you have to do everything at night. So it's like after said bedtime routine for 3 different people, playing whack-a-mole, troubleshooting, problem solve, cleaning up the mess, cleaning up the dinner. Oh, you're also supposed to prepare for Tuesday because guess what? You have to pack lunches, get all their backpacks out, their schools. Like there's just so much that goes into this. And at what point do you like wash your face and like sit down, read a book?
Well, I think I shared this on Instagram recently and I was like, that's kind of where I'm struggling the most right now is because
You have no you time.
I have no me time, which is creating a ton of anxiety, animosity, anger, lack of patience, all of those things.
Rage.
Because it's like, that's exactly what we do. We get the 2 big kids to bed, then I bathe Dawson while he finishes with Miller. Then he starts the bottle. Then I go make Miller's lunch. I prep like their breakfast for the next day so that it's like at least when we wake up in the morning, we're just like warming things up. And then I get in bed and I pump and then I wash my pump parts. He's putting Dawson to sleep and it's like 9:30 and she's going to be up at 1 a.m. Like I can't even watch TV for 2 seconds because I have so much anxiety of like, wait, when did the baby go to sleep?
I
3 minutes
sleeping.
ago. Oh my God, I missed 3 minutes of sleep.
Yeah.
Like I should be sleeping. So I am like just
You're
really
in it right now.
Yeah. And I didn't realize how much that 45 minutes wind down for yourself at the end of the day is a recharge for the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm really struggling with it because I have no recharge. Like that's what I just told you. I'm like, I am on 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I'm not like
You're running on adrenaline.
yeah, because then I get up
Well,
and then like
look, wait, at the end of the day, you're on adrenaline and then you're like Miller has a fever, double ear infection. This one's cutting teeth, not sleeping. Like it's not just like everything else goes seamless around you. Like life happens and this is happening to you every day.
right. And it used to be like, okay, all
could
these
survive.
things, but I have that 45 minutes. I
Yeah.
knew like by the time I get in bed, I get the kids down like from 8:45 to 9:45, that was my me time, whether I wanted to watch a show, be on Instagram, whatever I wanted to do. Not having that is quite literally killing me.
You'll get there.
But I keep telling myself this is short-lived, but this transition, honestly, to like summarize it has been a lot easier than I thought.
Yeah, I feel like
Because
you've made it look
I think
pretty.
you just know what's coming with like another baby, and to add a third in, you're like, come on, sister, you're in
along
it.
for the ride.
And I think that's what shapes the third.
Yeah, it totally makes
know,
it
like,
just
it
like
makes
the good
them the
easy
third
baby.
baby.
It totally.
My easiest baby.
Yeah, knock on wood. Well, and I do think like I look at what you've done with 3 and I'm like, I'm so jealous. You're beyond the pregnancy, beyond like the birth. Actually, I would know that you'd like to have a birthday party again. The birth is beautiful. But like you're getting her sleeping. Like now you have 3 kids and
Crazy.
you've given them the best gift in the world.
I hope so.
No, you know so. Like what
I
else
know
could you have
so.
given
I
them?
mean,
Like
even-
absolutely you did.
Even before I left this morning, like Palmer was hugging Miller, and I'm like, wow, like you're
Yeah.
welcome. And I was talking to him last night. I'm like, you're so lucky you have 2 sisters.
2 sisters
like,
that are going to
you
just
are so
adore
lucky.
you.
You have 2 sisters who
Yeah.
love. I said that who love and adore you. He's like, they love me so much, huh? I'm like, they love you more than
and they are
anything
so lucky
in the
that they have a
world.
big brother. Like it's just like it feels probably like a healthy.
It's like even with 2, it feels good. You feel like they're going to be okay when you're not there. And like even down to like leaving them with the nanny, you're
Yeah.
like, it's okay.
You guys have each other. Yeah,
You
totally,
have your
for
best
life.
friends for life.
All right. So if she
And
hasn't
then on
influenced
the way
you,
to having your best friends for life, you kill your mom and dad, but no worries.
no, but I feel like it's like you're influencing me. I'm like, stop influencing me to have a third baby. Like but it's like the best thing you could do.
It's the best. Just, you won't have
You didn't say
sleep
that
anytime
yesterday.
for yourself. Yeah, I didn't say it like an hour ago before we started recording, but that is what I truly feel deep down.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully that was helpful. See you next
If not,
time.
don't worry.
Thanks for tuning in to Camp Chaos. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our show. Connect with us on social media at Camp Chaos Podcast. Until next time, campers.